What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? That was a 10 out of 10 when it comes to claps. Today, we're going to chat about the Lone Wolf Dusk 19. First thought when I saw this gun is Lone Wolf did a great job making a very, very aesthetically pleasing gun. I think this gun looks dead sexy. If you don't like the way it looks, they do have about a dozen different versions, different colors, some with threaded barrels, some without, different sights, whatever. So you can check the website out if you disagree with me, but I think it is a very good looking gun. All right, starting with the magazine. It does come with two KCI magazines. You can either get them in 15 or 10 rounds, depending on the state you live in. And I was surprised that it comes with KCI mags. Most Glock clone, this is a Gen 3 Glock clone, come with Magpul magazines. Quick story about KCI. So when I posted this on Instagram and Facebook that I got it in, an industry friend of mine works for KCI. He reached out to me and said, hey, just so you know, we've made a lot of changes. We made a lot of improvements. Our quality is vastly improved, blah, 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 blah. So in the past, KCI has had some issues, and he was very serious that they've made a lot of improvements. So I'm hopeful that's true. I did not have any issues with the two KCI mags I have, and I hope KCI is much improved like my friend said it is, but time will tell. Who knows? Only time will tell. All right, the magwell, excuse me. There's a very slight magwell on here, good for a carry gun. I wouldn't want anything huge if it's something you're going to be carrying, but a slight bevel to help you put those magazines in. The grip is probably my favorite feature. I love, love, love the grip. A+ on everything about the grip. It is my favorite feature of this gun. One, the texture is good. It's aggressive. It's not too aggressive. It feels good. Some people may not like the way it feels up against their skin. I wear an undershirt, so I don't care. It doesn't bother me, and I love the way the grip feels. I love the angle of the grip as well. It's a lot more of a neutral grip. You don't get that Glock hump. I am personally not a fan of the Glock hump. It's like a 1911 grip angle, which is great. I shoot this significantly better than a Glock because of that. Now, if you don't like that grip, it does come with a second back strap. If you want something a little bigger, if you have bigger hands, it definitely does come with a larger back strap for you. Overall, the grip is a spicy, spicy meatball. I don't know exactly what that means, actually, but I love the grip. The grip is excellent. Magazine release is good. It's better than a Gen 3 Glock. The Gen 3 Glock, I'll pull a picture up here on the screen, had that weird little nub that I never loved. This is bigger, easier to reach. It's reversible for you lefties, so good on the magazine release. Before we get to the trigger, we do have a sponsor. I'll try to be quick. Virtual Vtac. A couple years ago, I reviewed these foam dummies from Virtual Vtac. Took 2 or 3 years for this South African company to get everything set up to sell these in the United States. By the time this video comes out, they should be available on Amazon and for sale. So they're foam and rubber composite together. So they're a little different than the rubber dummies. They're like a third of the weight. Those rubber dummies are great, but they're very heavy. These are like a third of the weight. They're like, I don't know, a third of the price, and they still last 1,000 to 2,000 rounds, depending on the caliber and the placement and the ammo and all that good stuff. So a really great way to elevate your training, to have a little fun, to make it very realistic. These dummies from VTEC are really cool. It's one of my most favorite reviews I've ever done. So down in the video description, if you could do me a favor, there's a link to Amazon if you want to check them out, get pricing, buy one if you're interested. There's a link to their Facebook, there's a link to their Instagram, all down in the video description. Go give them a follow, please. And cool product, and I'm very happy that they finally brought them in the States. Deep breath. Talking so fast. The trigger's good. I like the trigger. It's for a carry gun, it's exactly where it should be. It's not Nighthawk good, but for a carry gun, for a polymer gun, it's solid. It's definitely better than a Glock trigger. So it's a flat face, which I like. It's a metal trigger, which I like. You still have the little dongle safety built into it as well. You come up to a very stout wall and you pull through the wall. I really like that solid wall. And then the reset, the reset's good. It's not stupid short. It's good for a carry gun. The thing I really like about the reset is very forceful, it's very tactile, it's very audible. I don't care if a reset's a tiny bit longer. Of course, we all want it short. But I do want it to be very tactile and very audible so I can hear and feel and know exactly when it's going to reset. Anyway, we're going to take that 10-second break. We're going to get up close and personal with the trigger so you can see what it's all about and you can decide what you think of the trigger. What did you think of the trigger? Not bad at all for a polymer carry gun. I do want to call it the packaging. The packaging is extremely nice. Lone Wolf made a very aesthetically pleasing packaging with a message on how wonderful they are and how they started making parts and now they're making guns, and good for them. What was next? The trigger guard. Okay, so I don't get Glock knuckle with this. It's undercut and it's thinner, and the way they designed it, I do not get Glock knuckle. Every Glock I shoot, especially larger caliber ones, if I shoot them a lot, I get Glock knuckle. It did not happen with this gun, and that is awesome. The rail is not a Gen 3 Glock rail, so it's a standard 1913 rail cutout. So there's two cutouts on here, and the sizing is 1913, not the universal rail that used to come with the Glocks. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Both of them are going to fit TLR 7, TLR 1, X300, and N4. So whatever light you want to put on there is still going to work fine, but it's one difference, and I figured I'd mention it. Slide release is good. It's one of the extended Glock slide releases, so I'm a big fan of that, whether you're locking the slide to the rear or if you're like me and you want to use it as a slide release and piss off the trolls on the internet. Go ahead, make a comment about it. I use it as a slide release. What? Anyway, it's only on the left side of the gun. It's not ambi because this is not a Gen 5 Glock parts, it's Gen 3. So only on the left side of the gun, but it is extended. That's good. I like it. Let's talk about the slide. So the slide is stainless steel, of course. It has a gray PVD coating. Again, if you don't like this color, there's a bunch of different ones on the Lone Wolf website. Lone Wolf website. Blech. The black one does have a black nitrite finish, and then the other colors are there as well. The serrations are good. No issues, no problems. They're deep enough. They're angled correctly. There's enough of them. Very easy to run the gun. A+ in the serrations. A+ in the slide. A+ in the aesthetics. There's a lot of things on this gun that I liked, and I didn't know how exactly I was going to feel about it, but it looks good. Sights. The sights, they partnered with Night Vision, which is great. Night Vision makes some of, if not the best, night sights out in the market. First off, the steel. There's no plastic sights, which is great. They co-witness with an optics. They sit a little bit higher than the standard sights, which is good because optics, yay, they're wonderful. The front has a tritium dot, and Night Vision has some of the brightest tritium available on the market. Around the tritium is a green dot to help your eyes pick that up during the day. The rear sight obviously is also steel. It has a ledge for one-handed manipulations. If you're not running a red dot, there's some serrations on the back, so the sights have everything you want in them for a set of sights. The optics cut is good as well. It's not perfect, but it's very, very good. So the reason I say it's good is it doesn't have any accessory plates. Unlike the Glock MOS, there's no accessory plates, there's no adapters, there's no weak points, there's nothing else. It takes the RMR/Holosun footprint and it screws right down to the slide. So it screws right down. That makes it very solid. The most popular optics cut, 90% of the optics out there are RMR and Holosun footprint anyway, and that's pretty much the only ones I want to run is going to be an RMR or Holosun. With a few exceptions, but for the most part, that's the footprint I want, and I'm cool with that. All right, let's take this thing down. The one thing I want to call out is the takedown levers are a little extended, so it's a little easier to take down, and that area is cut away. So those two things make it a little bit easier for you. Not that it's very hard. So we're going to make sure it's unloaded. We don't like negligent discharges here. Pull the slide back just a little. Pull down on the takedown levers. Pull the trigger. Slide comes right off. Now you can pull the trigger before or after you do all that. Whichever way I do it. Somebody always makes a comment down in the comment section about it. The frame is pretty much a standard Glock 19 Gen 3 frame. Well, if you want to swap any of the parts or something breaks or anything like that, it takes Gen 3 parts. Now the recoil spring is similar to a Glock Gen 3 as well. It's a single recoil spring. It's captured, except for it is stainless steel, which is great. Now the barrel is also stainless steel. It has a gray PVD coating. Again, this one has the gray PVD coating. The other ones will have a black nitride or whatever. Different versions, as I mentioned a few times. And then as far as wear marks, it's not too bad. There's 600 rounds, which we'll talk about in the testing. There's a little bit of wear on top of the hood, which tends to happen with lots of guns. There's a little bit on top of the barrel near the muzzle. There is a nice crown on the barrel as well. And the wear marks are very, very few, which is good with the PVD coating. And I believe I mentioned it already, but it is available in a threaded and a non-threaded version. All right, this is going to be the dimensions of the gun. I don't know where I'll put it. Somewhere up here. The dimensions of the gun, the weight of the gun, and the price. $600-700, so it's a little more than a Glock, but I definitely think it's nicer. I'm kind of stealing my thunder at the end. I think it's nicer than a Glock, so I think it's worth it. I will put some affiliate links down in the video description, so if you want to pick one up, check those links. Hopefully, I can find you a good deal. Now, we are going to compare it in size to a Glock 19. It is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit smaller than a Glock 19, but not much at all. I mean, absolutely tiny bit bigger. All right, testing. My favorite part of the review, all the shooting and all the fun I had. You get to watch me shoot. How exciting is that? All right, I shot 600 rounds through this gun, and I had one malfunction when I first got the gun to the range. Now, I don't know if it was the mag, the barrel, the gun, probably not the ammo. I was not using the KCI mags. When I first got to the range, I loaded up a bunch of KCI mags, I loaded up a bunch of Magpul mags, a few Glock mags, and it was the Magpul magazine I believe I had an issue with. Plus, I was shooting footage for some Halloween content, some Halloween videos, and I had a Jason mask on, so my vision was blurred, and I don't know exactly what happened, and I didn't really think about it because I was more focused on getting the content for Halloween, the life of an influencer. Anyway, I had a failure to feed, and it was one of the first mags, if not the first mag, I shot. And again, I don't know if it was that Magpul mag, I don't know if it was the gun, I don't know if it was probably not the ammo, whatever it was. Maybe I limp wristed it because I had a mask on, whatever. But it wasn't the KCI mag. I will say that. I know that for a fact. After that one malfunction, though, through the all 600 rounds, flawless, no issues, no problems. It was good to go. I carried it for a few weeks, even though I work at home. Every time I leave the house, whether it be to walk the dog or go to the store, whatever, I made sure that was the gun I was carrying in a Mission First Tactical inside the waistband holster. Did a lot of concealed carry draws, because I think drills, because I think a lot of people are going to use this gun for concealed carry. So I did a lot of drawing from the holster, a lot of magazine exchanges. I did shoot it some from an outside the waistband as well, because a Glock 19 size gun is a great do-it-all gun, home defense, carry, range, something like that. It can be a jack of all trades. So I had my Neomag alias belt on. If you guys don't know, I work for Neomag. The alias belt's dope because within seconds, I mean seconds, you can go from inside the waistband to outside the waistband just by click, 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 and you're switching from IWB carry to OWB for the range or whatever. It's a dope belt. Anyway, we did a lot of reloads. I used my shooter's global timer, which is cool because it shows you how much you suck right here on the screen and how slow you are. I think a lot of influencers won't show you this timer because they're embarrassed on how their shooting skills are. I don't care. I've been saying it from day one. I'm an average shooter, and now the shooter's global timer will show you what I mean. And I also did some plinking with my son, which is very, very cool. He's old enough now where we can shoot at the same time. He was shooting his little Taurus 22. I was shooting my Lone Wolf. It's so cool. I can't wait till as he gets older and better in his skills, do some running and gunning with him. And yeah, that's pretty cool stuff if you're a dad. All right, deep breath. Let's talk about pros, cons, and then you can get out of here. The grip is my favorite thing. As I said, the texture, the angle, everything, the size of it, everything about the grip, I love. It's a good trigger. Much nicer than a Glock trigger. The flat face, the wall, the reset, tactile. I like the trigger a lot. I like that it takes Glock parts if something breaks or you don't like something. It's very easy to get. The steel sights from Night Vision good. Slides good. Serration's good. The PVD coating is holding up a lot better. I have this in my mind that PVD coating is not as good as nitrite, but I have no proof or reason to say that. It's just for some reason in my mind. But if you look at the slide, very little wear, and I did a lot of drawing from the holster. Tiny bit of wear in the barrel, which also happens with nitrite barrels. So it's holding up a lot better. Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised that PVD holds up so well. The optics cut is solid as well. It works with the most popular optic footprint, and it screws right down to the slide with no accessory plates, and that makes me very happy. And then the other controls are good. Has a good slide release. Takedown levers are easy. Mag release is easy. Probably give those a mention as well. I don't really have a con. I am still hesitant with the KCI mags just because they have that reputation of having problems. Again, with that said, 600 rounds, probably roughly, a couple hundred through each KCI mag. I tried to use them as much as possible, and they were flawless. And again, as time goes on, time will tell. We will see if KCI is an improved brand, like so many others have improved. We'll see as time goes on if what my buddy said is true and that they're good to go or not. I'm going to continue to run them a whole bunch. Anytime I shoot a Glock pad and gun, I'm going to do my best to shoot these when I can and put as many rounds as I can. So if you're watching this video in the future, feel free to let me know how they held up. Ask me and I'll let you know how they held up, how they're doing, how many rounds I have on them. Overall, I like the Dusk 19. I'd be happy to carry it every day. Home defense, range. I know there's a couple of videos out there of people having problems in the beginning, like a break-in period, but besides that one round, mine's been absolutely flawless, and I think it looks good and it works good. And if I was going to design a gun like a Glock 19 size, this is pretty much what I would design. All right, let me thank Lone Wolf for sending it out to the channel for review. That is greatly appreciated. Let me remind you of the affiliate links. Hopefully I can find you a good deal. The sponsor of the video, this dummies are so awesome. Foam rubber dummies, available on Amazon, should be available on Amazon now. The link to their Instagram and Facebook and Amazon to buy them is all down in the video description. Virtual VTEC is the name. Go check them out. I did start a second YouTube channel because I'm crazy and a glutton for punishment. I'm only going to do like one video a week on it. It's dedicated to all things on wheels, my Bronco, e-bike, stuff like that. If you want to check that out, of course, the link is down in the video description as well, like all the links. Most important, I'm going to stop talking now, so thank you for watching. If you think I deserve it, fire up the Santa, like, comment, subscribe, enable the bell notifications. The subscriptions and enabling the bell notifications are huge. I appreciate it. They truly help. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace!